It's time to go balls deep.
The EA Sports College Football Headquarters Podcast.
We have a guest today, and we will get to that in just a minute. But first, we got our own business to attend to.
We do. We always have business to attend to.
Yeah, that's right. And so today we have a sponsor. So do that first because we got to pay the bills.
Well, before we do that, though.
Before the sponsor.
Before
okay,
we
go
do
for
that,
it.
why don't we
action.
welcome everybody to another episode of Balls Deep?
Dude, telling them it's time to go balls deep. They better be ready.
Dude, look.
That's their cue.
You
Get
make
ready.
me do these things, and then you want to skip every fucking time. It drives me nuts.
All right, dude.
Okay,
Go
I just
ahead.
want to
Welcome
welcome
people.
everybody back to another episode of Balls Deep. I want to thank them for listening.
All right,
Tell them to
that's
hit
fair.
the like and subscribe button.
Yep.
And all that good stuff. Follow us on whatever platform you are on.
Right, wherever you get your podcast.
Right, so that this way you download the episodes as soon as they come and hit the air, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Now
Yeah.
that we haven't fucking blown our load,
Okay.
we can
Yeah.
get to
today's sponsor,
which is just the tip.
The Angry Dragon. It's a new sponsor for us. Home to the loudest and best crowds in Revere. You'll get rocked so hard it'll come out your nose.
I love the Angry Dragon.
All right, good
All
deal.
right. So today we have a very, very special guest, Al.
Well, wait a minute, dude. The sponsor brings us just
Oh,
the tip.
fuck yeah. Now, see, now I'm
Dude,
forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay.
We're so fucking unprofessional.
Yeah, well, it's because you've thrown me all off with this whole thing.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. It's Brendan's fault.
Okay, let's
Dude.
throw him under the bus.
Yeah, that's right.
Throw our guest. Hey, watch out.
So here is my tip. And dude, boy, do we need this tip today.
Yeah, okay.
Because my tip today is a life tip, which is go to therapy. Yeah, dude. So I've been going to therapy for like 5 years now. And it does not... Don't let these results discourage you. Because, like, you know, I was having problems with my marriage, and we're going to marriage counseling. And, of course, every problem in my marriage...
It's you.
No, it's because my wife, because she's tripping.
Oh yeah.
But then when we started going to marriage counseling, that's when I finally realized, like, oh, I play a role in this shit too. I am not this glorious masterpiece of mental health. It turns out I'm fucking crazy too.
Oh,
and listener, you may be thinking, oh, I'm not crazy. You know who thinks they're not crazy? Crazy people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Right? And so you don't know. You don't know if you're fucking crazy. That's part of being crazy.
Yeah, that's why we get married, so they can show us how
That's
crazy
right.
we are.
Dude, that's what it took for me.
Yeah.
My wife telling me, that I'm the problem. So anyway, obviously not everybody can afford that. But if you have health insurance that covers it, makes it reasonable, dude, I highly recommend it.
All
and
right.
one day it'll kick in for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Al.
All right. Go ahead. Get to
look,
the
that
guest.
is a good tip, man.
Yeah.
Mental health is important. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So today's guest, we have a very special guest. He's from our page, right? He is also big on our storyline page. He produces Road to Glory series, and he has his own podcast called Gridiron Uncensored, which is more grounded in the actual real world with real sports and things like that. This is Brenden Malace. Hey, Brenden, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
I like that he's got like the silk radio voice, man. It's nice.
Dude. Yeah, I can't carry all the weight of beautiful to speaking voices.
Yeah. So Brenden, you have how long has Gridiron Uncensored been around?
So this will be our second off season covering college football. So going into year 3, I guess it would be in August. It doesn't seem like it's been that long that when I say it like that, but yeah, it's going on the third season of doing it. And really, the first time we started it was just, a friend of mine from high school and then a buddy we met over video games, from
How every great relationship starts.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's just what guys do nowadays. That's how you meet people. We're all spread out, but yeah, so we just decided, hey, let's throw it together one day, and 2 weeks later we had bought a damn mic and some other equipment and decided to start up a damn podcast. So.
Yeah, and so you guys, how many episodes roughly do you have?
So we kind of do it like recently we've been splitting them up a little bit more. So we'll take a full episode and split it. So we're probably close to 200 like videos on YouTube, but episodes, I'd say probably about 150.
Dude, that's a ton of content.
Dude,
man.
that is a lot.
And I've listened, and their content, they use like a lot of recorded audio and things like that at the intro. They have music. It's very, very professional sounding. And then they get right into it, and they've done enough episodes that their flow is it's effortless at this point. So
that's awesome. Do you mainly talk
I
about
appreciate that.
college sports, or is it all okay?
Yeah, all college football.
Right on.
It's a college football podcast. That's what we lean into, and that's why we love, obviously being around with you guys. College football 25. We came together. We grew up on the video games.
Right.
And then obviously just watching college football too. But the video games were huge, and one, just knowing so much about each team, knowing so much about the sports, the rosters. And you get to play with all these different teams. So you just build that fandom. And then, obviously now as adults, it's just continued to grow our love for the game. And even though the game is changing, the big news recently about, they were possibly going to a 16-team playoff and all this other stuff. But, hey, we're still, to use your podcast name, we're balls deep in college football.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you
guys do like a lot of different things. You guys talk about like kind of the big games of the week, the featured games. You guys do your picks of the week and everything like that. Now, when you guys do your picks, do you guys like keep a running tally of who is the best picker?
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. So the first year we didn't initially. We were like 5 weeks in. I was like, we need to keep track of this shit. We got to figure this out better. We're still trying to, get our feet wet in the whole podcast game. And finally, we got into it. But Blake won year one on the total, and then I won it this year. I actually had a pretty damn good record. I don't know it offhand, but it was pretty nice. I think it was like 75% on the season.
Damn.
On wins. So, yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Now, there's an important caveat here. Do you guys pick
Sure.
straight up, or do you pick against the spread?
Just straight up wins.
Okay.
We've talked about maybe doing spreads and stuff. We'll
Right.
post them, and we have a thing called the Gridlock, where we'll pick like our favorite, underdog or team that's like slightly favorite. I mean,
Right.
within a 0.3
Yeah,
or 3
I was
points
gonna
or
say,
less.
like, if you just pick Ohio State and Notre Dame every week, that ain't that hard to pick games.
Right. Yeah. So we try to split it around, and we pick 10 games, and a lot of them are the big games of the week.
Okay.
But we'll throw in some group of 5 contests in there and stuff like that too, because obviously those teams are so important to the league and why college football is different than the NFL.
Absolutely.
I know people are trying to change that up a bit, but we throw in the group of 5 in there, and we've got friends on Twitter that we talk to, or X now, whatever the hell you want to call
Right.
it. I still say Twitter, but they're big into the group of 5, huge community, so we try to include them as well. But yeah, we started doing that, and really it's just the 10 games a week. We do that and just pick straight up, and then go from there and see what the fans say, what other in the community what they pick too.
Right. So Anthony and I grew up in Las Vegas, and when we would be bored on a Sunday morning driving around, there were these people on the radio called touts, and they would work essentially for the sports book or for sports betting sites, and they would get on and tell you about, like, we got this game figured out. We know exactly what's going to go down. You could bet this game like it's already been played. You guys do stuff like that? Like you get fired into it?
So
by the
I
way-
know people that do.
Yeah, you pro tip, you cannot bet that game as
As
though
if
it's already been played.
So-
Yeah.
I always, like, if I'm on a run and I'm like, I've got it, like, hey, I went like 9-3 or 9-1 this week, or
Yeah,
8-2. I'm like, hey guys, listen, maybe you should follow what I'm saying here, but again, don't trust me. I'm not a financial advisor. I gotta throw that shit in there.
Right.
I learned that from the stock side of Twitter too. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the truth.
I'm not trying to lose you guys money, but hey, I'm doing all right.
Right.
Okay, so Brenden, when I first got on to him, he has a Road to Glory. Actually, he's now finished that series and started a second one. But this was with a quarterback named Ted Stryker. Now, of course, as soon as I saw his name was Ted Stryker, I'm like, dude, that's from the Airplane series. This is very much in my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah.
And so immediately I started like talking to him because I'm like, this is great. This guy, it's fun. He's got a quarterback that with a funny name and everything like that. And he does like voiceover work on the podcast, or sorry, no, on his Road to Glory videos, so that this way you kind of have like what he's thinking and all
That's
that
cool.
stuff, and
Right.
it's like a commentary, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, it really adds something to just watching the
Yeah, and
video
so
game
like
videos.
I
Right.
recently started streaming, and I don't know how you add the voice to it, and so if you're watching my shit, it's literally just like watching a game on with their audio. But his, you get his audio. So how did you get into doing that?
So you guys, I'm sure for anybody that's listening, if you follow, the college football games, obviously with Balls Deep podcast, but YouTube and whatever, a gentleman named Bordeaux, younger guy, but he started doing all these NCAA 14 videos, and I saw him on Instagram, and I was like, hey man, I got a little bit of extra time, like at this point. I just wanted to try it myself and just see, what it's like, because I love, the gaming side of it. And so I was like, well, I don't have any special equipment. I don't have anything crazy, but I've got a damn iPhone. So I figure out, I got a guitar stand. I like playing guitar. So I pulled out my guitar stand and just put my phone on it and record it. And, we're set up pretty close, and it just records, everything is damn unlimited storage on these phones pretty much. So I just recorded it, and then I put it into an app called CapCut. Mm-hmm. And once you're in there, then you can splice it up, and it'll be a 40-minute game, and you can bring it down to usually a minute 30 was what a reel is, and it was the YouTube Shorts were I think a little bit shorter than that, but now they're like 3 minutes. But either way, so I would do that, and then you have the ability to voice over. You can add voice, you can add noise, sounds, whatever you want on there, and that's just the free version too. So you can do even more if you pay for it.
How long does it take you to? Are you doing like playing out a whole season, then go through, do all the voices? This way you can kind of release on like a schedule?
So I try to, but I got 3 kids, and I do homeschooling stuff as well. So it's kind of busy for me now. But I had a moment where I did film a whole season, and then I went back and tried, but it just got too
it's a big project.
log jam, too cumbersome. So I've started to just do like 3 or 4, episodes or games. Mm-hmm. And then I'll go in, later that evening when, I got time, and, after the wife and I have hung out, and I'll go and just voice edit it in a quiet room and just try to, do my thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. So these are definitely entertaining. It's fun to watch. It's fun to hear the commentary. Where can our listeners find those videos?
So on our Gridiron Uncensored Facebook and on the Gridiron HQ Instagram, both are, the main ones for Reels. And then we have a Gridiron HQ YouTube as well. Okay. And we were initially going to try and do it on our Gridiron Uncensored YouTube, just to maybe keep it all together, keep the views. But everything we read said you need to really try to separate. If you're doing a football podcast, it needs to be, or like YouTube show, it needs to be its own thing. And if you're doing gaming, try to keep it, separate. So we just decided to do a separate one. And the guys were going to start doing some of their own series as well. But with life and everything else, they just haven't gotten to it yet. So
yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm balancing so many different things and trying to figure it all out. And then when can I do this? And that's when when I figured, like, if I'm just going to stream, like, I cannot now say like, oh, I'm going to stream and then I want to do voiceover. The only option would be to do it live, which I could do. But then I'm like, man, I got to do like 48 minutes of talking, and it's going to get repetitive. I really would need somebody next to me to talk shit to me when I suck. So this way I can make it entertaining.
Dude, doesn't your wife talk shit to you?
Well, yeah, but she doesn't want to watch the games. I mean,
right. She would talk shit about like how you haven't cleaned the garage.
Yeah,
yet.
Exactly. Like I don't want to have to like a full on meltdown with my wife.
I can't believe you threw another interception when you haven't even cleaned the garage.
Yeah, exactly. That would be me. And that's when I'd start breaking controllers.
This bad,
Right, exactly.
A fucking pick six, really? That kind of thing. I mean, yes, a fucking pick six.
That hits deep, dude.
Dude, oh man. Yeah. If she started in on me about my quality of play, there would be
I got it on the last one from her from mine. Just because like the first one I did from the NCAA 14 was the Ty Spackler series. And that one was a lot of fun, and I did pretty solid on it because I mean we've been playing NCAA 14 for years, but then it was the Striker series. That was like the first time I'm giving this Road to Glory a go on the new game, and I was throwing picks left and right. I mean, it was bad, and my wife was like, "Damn, like that's they're not getting as many likes and stuff on this one. Maybe it's because you guys sucks really bad on this. I was like, hey, babe, listen, I'm fucking trying here, you know.
Hey, let me ask you this:
Does the pressure, man? I'm telling you, I got the squigglies.
Do game
Like,
if you win a game versus you lose a game, does that affect like how many views you get?
Yeah, so I've had some where like I'll have a tight loss and the views are actually pretty similar or even more. But if you just, I mean, if you get spanked, there's not much to say about it. They're just people are like, that sucks. This guy sucks.
Right.
You need to do this, and then they'll critique you in the comments like, you need to run better. You need to, And I was like, hey, look, I know I'm trying though. And then on the good ones, they're like, oh man, what a dime. You can really throw them. I was like,
yeah, I can. You're damn right.
Yeah, I can. That's right.
It makes sense. It's just like people would rather watch Ohio State versus Ohio University.
Sure.
They want to see people who are good.
See, I'm a big believer that if you basically do like the Mamba mentality where you could like shave points and control, and so you're barely winning on like these comeback, you look like the hero all the time, then people, the drama's there. Where if you're winning by like 50, either people think that the difficulty's too low. So you're gonna catch shit for that. Right. If you're losing, then you're ass, and you're gonna catch shit for that. You gotta find that
sweet spot.
So you gotta find that sweet spot, and so you gotta like you gotta try to make it to where you're always winning on the last drive, and then you get the desired result.
Yeah, and you'll get a lot of that where people will be like, or you'll see on the big guys that are super good. They're like, you're playing on Heisman or not Heisman, like freshman or something, right? There's no way. And some of them you can tell, like when people make videos, you can tell it's the difficulties, a little bit easier. But I've had comments because I played on Heisman. I do Operation Sports, sliders and stuff. And I try to make it as hard as possible because I just like that challenge. And then I show picks, I show, bad plays.
That's what
mistakes.
I like most about your stream is that when things go wrong, it's listening to the defeat in your voice at the time. He's, I threw a real bad one here, and it's like, and I've been there because it's so frustrating, especially Road to Glory is when you're first starting out. Like Ted Stryker, he was at Washington State, right?
Yes. No. So he was at, I did Northwestern for Stryker. It was the Spackler one. I was at Washington.
Okay. State. Yes. So then Ted Stryker at Northwestern, the Northwestern team around him, not real good. Right.
It's horrible.
And so like they're dropping passes. The running backs aren't doing well. Like can't get the running game going. But then on top of that, the back end, the defense is terrible. So it's like any mistake you make is now magnified by the help you're not getting, and it's his streams are really good for that. So if you haven't checked them out, you definitely got to watch it. It's really good. So how far along did Ted Stryker get? Like, did you get a title with him?
No, never. So I did win. So the Ted Stryker series, I did, the 3 seasons at Northwestern. I even tried to enter the transfer portal, if I can speak. Try to do it, my sophomore season. Nobody wanted me because it was so bad. So I was like, God damn it, man! I gotta stay one more season. So I was like, hopefully these guys are at least trying to recruit for me or bring other transfers in. They brought in another quarterback, so I had to beat him out by week 3, and then finally we were decent enough. We went like 8-5, but then I transferred down to Florida Atlantic. I was like, I got to get out of here, man. So I'll take anything. And then I ended up going to the playoffs with them. My ass, smacked by Clemson in a home playoff game.
Nice.
But hey, I won a conference championship with Stryker.
Dude,
the
Connie. Yep. So now you have your newest one, which you just started. Now I imagine you're now a better player.
Yeah.
Right. And so what star prospect was he?
So the Stryker one was a 3-star, and this one I called him Stroker. I know it's not very far off, but some guy was like in the comments, he was like, dude, Stroker would be hilarious because I thought that was his name. I was like, I'm not very creative, so I'll just go with it.
Yeah, sure.
And Stroker, man, just let it go.
We can't all have a cannonballs.
I was just gonna say, cannonballs, man. That was the guy.
Yeah. So he's a 4. I did a 4-star. I one-upped him just to have like one mental ability. because the 3-star was tough, man. I don't know how anybody's done 2-star or no star.
One of the most and a 2-star. Your guy's basically like a paraplegic. He drools all the time. You can't fucking every play just falls over. It's
wheel his ass out there.
Yeah. But you know what's frustrating about Road to Glory in its current iteration is like you could have a great year, earn that starting position, take it to the playoffs, and then next year you're third string again because it just resets by overall rating.
Yep, exactly. And when the lower you start, on the start,
right.
You're obviously overall is lower, and then you try to find out, how to do the upgrade your player, and do I need to focus on school? And hell no. I learned don't worry about school. Like Cardell Jones said, we didn't hit school,
you got that 1.2 GPA.
Shit,
will it make you academically ineligible? Because I'm about to start actually playing my series that I just recently debuted, and I've not done a Road to Glory yet, where I have enough know-how of what to do. So should I just ignore the academics and just go all training?
You got to put some into it, but the rest I do training, and then every time you put stuff into training, you have to recover. Otherwise, the wear and tear will be too much, and then you'll suck even worse. So it's like
my guy's gonna play from the back of the ambulance.
Yes. Yeah. I'm barely making it out of the locker room. But so I think you can have a 2.0 GPA and still make it.
Okay, good.
So I'm barely this season. I've learned don't even touch it that much. Maybe 1 point here or there, and then you're good to go. The rest I put into training, and it's helped a lot.
Okay.
All right. That's where I've always gone wrong in Road to Glory because my guy always is 4.0, graduates early. And then I think, the senior year, man, I'm going to be able to go off. But no,
I got a business degree, man. I got a business degree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know I ain't getting drafted.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to get my education out of there.
We're trying to stick to the SEC side of
there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hired a kid to do my homework. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
All right. So now with your current series, you're in year 1 with it?
Yeah.
How's it going?
So far so good. I started off, I'm at Tulane with the guy named Stroker, and like I said, he's a 4-star quarterback, just because I wanted to give the quarterback thing a run again after that. The last one was just rough, but this one, it's been going good. I think I'm 6-0 right now, and then or 5-0, and then the next episode, just wait, it's not good. It goes down very poorly. I'll tell you.
I think I saw that you released it this morning. I haven't watched it yet.
So I've got another one on tab ready to go after that one. That one was an OT heart. This one wasn't a heartbreaker. The one that I released this morning was really tight. Went down to OT. But the next one, they take me off the field with 20 seconds left.
Oh,
my team misses the field goal and we lose in overtime.
Oh my god!
Yeah, brutal. Dude, you got a whole triangle, disgusting, man, so that you just fucking wave off the coach.
I literally, it was a beautiful last drive. Got him all the way down to the 10-yard line. We had 25 seconds left. I was like, man, we got this shit too easy. They take me off the field, miss the field goal. And then the rest is history.
Dude, that's so frustrating in Road to Glory. When the coach is just, Or if you're the running back and you'll go 80 yards on this drive, and then when you get to the goal line, they take you out.
Oh, dude, so they could go with those 4 verts, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
The best goal line play in sports. Yeah, send them all deep, all 2 yards. Motherfuckers. Dude, I swear to God. All right, so hey, Brenden, we're going to be getting to our main sponsor here, but dude, you've been great. We're going to have to get you back on. That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we could get him back on and go easy another half hour.
Let him make one more plug before.
So plug your stuff. Tell us where to find you.
Yep.
So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gridiron Uncensored podcast. You can just search it. YouTube, of course, we're trying to grow that for our podcast side. It's just, again, Gridiron Uncensored. Twitter's where I'm the most active when it comes to, talking about college football. But any of those, Facebook, any of the socials, we're there. And then also on podcast platforms. The main ones, you'll see us on there as well.
Right. And then one more time with your Road to Glory videos. That was Gridiron HQ, you said?
Yeah. That's the Gridiron HQ. Thank you. Yeah. So again, separate from the others, but Gridiron HQ, and you'll see it on there.
Awesome.
Dude. All right, you ready to get? Who's our big sponsor today?
Dude, the big sponsor today, it's our favorite sponsor.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the He Held On Foundation.
Love those guys. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Right. By the way, if you guys want a He Held On sticker, contact Anthony Scafacci.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get him out to you, man.
Yep, free of charge. because, dude, they do great work.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We'd like to thank the He Held On Foundation for sponsoring today's episode. They do incredible work helping senior citizens fulfill their bucket list dreams before it's too late. Thanks to your generous financial support, He Held On was able to fly Arizona retiree Julian Garrity to Gloucestershire, England for the annual Cooper's Hill cheese rolling and wake.
You got it for real.
Yeah, dude. You've seen the event?
Yes, I know exactly. Dude, this is when they.
Brenden, do you know the cheese rolling?
Where like the hill is like at a 90-degree angle. It's like
it's
like
it's
a steep drop.
Right, and they roll the cheese down the hill, and you got to chase after.
All right,
it.
I got to hear this.
Yeah. So and wake. It says.
Wait, in a wake? Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that. Go on.
Yeah, so I looked it up because you see wake, and with He Held On, you're like, oh well, at least I got that already built in. But it turns out this has been going on for like 500 years.
Oh,
like
shit.
literally 500 years.
Yeah.
They've been chasing this goddamn cheese down the
Does
hill.
anybody ever actually catch the cheese? I know that you can
I
just
don't
cross
think
the
you
finish
ever-
line.
Yeah, it's whoever crosses the finish line first. I don't think anybody's ever beaten the cheese down the hill.
No, dude, because that cheese reaches enough speed to go into the future, like fucking
Yeah,
Back to the
right,
Future.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
88 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so anyway, we fly him out to Gloucestershire, England. On a typically gray English afternoon, Mr. Garrity took his spot on the start line atop Cooper's Hill. The 8-pound, 3-ounce wheel of double Gloucester was brought to bear, and the starter began his call. 1 to be ready, 2 to be steady, 3 to prepare, and 4 to be off. And off went Mr. Garrity, throwing caution to the wind like an absolute beast. His first few steps were slow, and then, with a sudden pitch forward, Mr. Garrity took control of the race. Using a unique rolling, flopping technique, Mr. Garrity went rocketing past competitors a third of his age. In 2023, a Canadian woman named Delaney Irving won the race despite being knocked unconscious before crossing the finish line.
Dude, does he wear like protective gear?
No.
Like a helmet?
No, dude, you don't do that.
He's raw dogging this hill.
This race ain't for pussies. Because, dude, thanks to the He Held On Foundation and your generous donations, Julian Garrity bested that feat. One astounded observer, Mr. Gerald Morris of nearby Upton upon Severn, said, "It was an epic run by that old chap. One for the ages. He went out a champion."
Dude, we should all be so lucky.
Yeah. Dude.
All right. That was pretty amazing. Thank you to the
Yeah.
He Held On Foundation, today's sponsor.
Yep,
And-
doing that important work. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that was a hell of a story.
Yeah,
Okay, it was
yeah.
a hell of a story.
Yeah, what a man.
All right. That is going to be it for today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I want to remind you to make sure that you hit that follow button. Check us out every week, the Balls Deep podcast. For Alan Gigax, for Brenden Malace, I am Anthony Scafacci. We are out.